people. I am here. But first things first, before I get started, I always have to do this disclaimer. Camera seems a little high. It is. All right. I just have to do this disclaimer. I have to do it every single time, okay? So hear me out. This is a live stream on March 15th, 2022 at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're viewing this after that time and after that date, I won't answer you live on video because it's not live. Keep that in mind. Hey people, my name is Marie. I like to make things and I like to turn around and show you how I made those things. Welcome to my live stream. Yay. So as you can see in the description, we are going to be wrapping beads without holes. Now, note that the beads that I have do have holes because that's all I have on hand, okay? But the concept still can be taught with beads with holes. Or if you're like, I don't like the fact that this has a hole on this side and this side, I just want it to be connected on the top, we can do that too. So how I do that, you gotta have your cutter, gotta have your loopers, because when you initially start wrapping around this, you're gonna wanna make your beginning loop. And then I got my little tiny pinchers. So, all right, let's see here. So I went to Michael's, you guys, today to go and see if I can find some beads that were pretty big. And welcome Carrie. So I got some beads and stuff, and then I bought things, and when I bought things I didn't use my coupons. There is no pain that is worse than going to Michael's and not using your coupons. Like, what? I don't know what was wrong with me. I used some coupons, but I didn't use my vouchers. I did use a coupon. Let me scratch that. I did use a coupon, but I did not use my vouchers. So yeah, then we have that. So these are the beads I got. They were like $7.99. So, and they always go, this is not a cutter. They always go and they put these things and they string them on, and they string on these little nondescript little clear beads. I don't know what that's all about. But they use them as spacer beads, so I have to make sure I don't have a bunch of those. So aren't these pretty? They're different. I wanted these because of the fact that they have such different shapes. Like, all of these are all different shapes. So I wanted to try wrapping these without using a hole and just see if I can be successful with that. I think I can. So these are ones that I already did, just so I can see if I can really try it and really be successful with it. So these are ones I already did. They took like a total of like 5 minutes. So I used 20 gauge wire. Now, if you guys are new here, you know that I try to use 20 gauge wire for everything. Everything. I have tons of 20 gauge wire just all over the studio, and it's just here living its life, but it doesn't last for very long in my studio. So anyway, like I said, my cutters, I'm not going to tell you what the name of these actually are because everybody makes fun of me. So, and then I got my chain nose, I got my loopers, I got my little tiny pinchers, as I like to call them. They're all going to come in handy when we're trying to wrap these beads that don't have a hole. You know what I'm saying? So I want to try a very weird shaped one. All of these are weird shaped ones anyway. I'm going to try to do it with a big bead, and then I'm going to try to do it with a little bead. So I'm going to try it on this one. I kind of like I like how the mixture of the colors that are on this, I kind of like that. So we're going to try that. the hole, let me show you where the hole is. It's very weird. The hole is here and here. So all these have the hole going across. So, boom. I love this. Can't wait to do this one. And I might even slip it on a necklace. I don't know. As I'm looking around to see if I can find any chain. Yeah, so I have plenty of chain. All right, 20 gauge wire. I'm opening up a whole new 20 gauge wire just for you guys because you guys are special. So let me show you this thing too. Hold on. All right, let me get this. Spam block. Goodbye. All right, so 20 gauge wire. So if you guys ever notice that you have wire and it has a little kink in it, I always use these nylon flat pliers that are designed for straightening out your wire. Either you can run it down the wire or you can just use it to squish. There you go. I love these pliers, man. These pliers are the bee's knees, as my mom likes to say. All right, so okay, I did this late at night last night, so I'm not even exactly sure if I can recreate what I did. Yeah, okay, I got it. So I'm going to see if maybe, I love when you open up the wire and it just like spins on your space here. I don't know why. Don't know why. So what I like to do is start with a little loop. I want it to be big enough though that I can fit a necklace through. So I think that would be a good loop. So if you ever find yourself in need of loopers, I love these. As I always mention, they have 6 sizes of loops on these things. They are amazing. So I like to start with a little loop. I might even just close it off. It's because I feel like it, okay? Sometimes you just feel like it. So what I wanna do is I'm gonna close it off. So I got myself a little loop like this. Now from here, take our weird little shaped thing, and I want to keep, maybe I should start from the back. I'm gonna start from the back. And it's a possibility that this might be a updated video for later on. So I'm gonna go, and it's like, really, to be honest, really no science to this, because I didn't wrap these the same way on each of these. So I'm just going to just start wrapping, okay? And I'm at one point I think I'm going to have the wire cross on itself. You know what? I like this even better. These were really hard to do. I'm gonna sit them up here so you guys can see them. They were kind of hard to do because they were smooth around the edges, and so the wire just kept moving all over the place. Now with this right here, this is kind of cool because it's got all these little knobs and little crevices that you can put your wire into. Okay, we are doing that. I like that. And I might even just cross over my beginning loop here and then just start wrapping it around. Look at that. And I'm pulling it tight so that it's not going to move all over the place. And so guess what? I'm done. Just to be honest, guess what? I am done. And so I'm working my way up to the top because I want to end this wire right where I began the wire, right at the top here. So I'm going to cut this. And then I'm going to wrap it around this top loop. See, that wasn't so bad. I thought this was going to be really hard. Now, here's the kicker that I love doing with this. So as you notice, these have like little kinks on them, little bends and stuff like that. You see that? So I am going to, hey Azul, I called you Azul. I called you Azul. Oh boy, how's your week going? So we are just wrapping beads. If you just got here, I am just wrapping weird shaped beads. And so I started from the top, worked all the way around here, came right back up to the top and ended at the top. Yeah. And I'm going to squish those ends down. And I'm gonna cut. Always keep yourself a little bowl on your table that you can get all your little cuttings in. All right, now I'm gonna squish that down. And so this is what we have so far, okay? So now I'm going to take my little pliers, and this is what I did for these guys. I'm going to do these little bends in the wire. Okay, I'm laughing at this. Okay, and so I'm just going to take my pliers and just bend. No rhyme or reason. And what you're doing too, because this wire is still kind of loose. If you look at it from the side, you see how it's kind of loose. You can see right through to my desk here. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just tightening them. Whenever you're moving the wire like boop, boop, then you are tightening it. Tightening the wire because the wire has nowhere to go but where you bent it. And so now you can start to see it's starting to get really tight in the front. Now let's work on this wire right here. So I'm gonna start bending that guy. You can bend it a couple times. There we go. And sometimes when you bend it, it starts to get loose in different areas, and that's okay. So now we look at it, we can't see through the wire to our table. And so there's really no rhyme or reason to the bending part because all you're doing is just tightening the wire. You're kind of making it better looking. It's also giving it a little bit more personality. So this wire is getting really tight. I can tell because I'm not getting not that much of a deep bend in them. Oh, everybody's still at work, but that's the only time when I can get into my studio because I share my studio with my husband. So when I share my studio with my husband, he has classes today on Zoom. And so he's like all on the computer. And so I was like, oh, I'll just do my live somewhere else. And he sacrificed the office for you guys. So there you go. That is basically how you take, oh, yay, the best place in the world. So you can basically just take your wire, wrap it around all crazy. It will look crazy, but then really if you have like the best wire, if the wire is shiny and looks pretty and then you put these little bends in it, oh my goodness. All right, this is the first time working with a rock that is kind of like this. It's the first time working with it. I've been doing all these smooth ones. Believe it or not, these are the worst. It took me a while to get it to tighten up on these ones because it just kept slipping and slipping. So once I kept tightening it, it worked after a while. But I want to see what I could do with this small stone. Yeah, like they call them, there's a word and I can never say it. It's kabunchun, or I'm quite sure you guys can figure out what I'm trying to say, I think. I'm always so bad at what the technical term is for different things. So this one is really smooth and it's small. I haven't done a small one. This is the smallest one I've done. So I'm going smaller. I'm going for it because I have 2 of them and I want to make a pair of earrings out of them. Now I'm wondering, okay, I got it. We got it. So I'm thinking that I might, how would I do this? If I want to make a pair of earrings, okay, I'm going to put a big amount up here, okay? Because that part is what I'm going to use to make my earring wire. I'm literally just guessing. Thank you so much. Yeah, because yes, that is it. Thanks. Mela, that is what I'm trying to say. I knew you guys would get it. I knew you guys would get it. I was believing in you guys. Okay, so I think that this part right here, I'm gonna bend it a little bit like this, because this part I'm gonna make into earring wire. Is that right? Yes, because the bottom part will come back up and I can wrap it around and have a little, you gotta think ahead too. So I'm trying to think ahead. I know this one has a hole in it, but I wanna try. Hey Debbie, I wanna try to do this as if it doesn't have a hole in it, because I know there's a lot of stones. I found a rock in my garden. I wish I had brought it up. It looked like it had like little pieces of like gold in it and like silver in it. And I was like, ooh, I can't wait to wrap that. But it's like, oh, it can only go on a necklace. Speaking of necklace, I know I'm all over the place, you guys. I usually am. Okay, because I want to put it on a necklace. All right, earring wire, I bent it here. This is really, I could feel it. It's like moving all over the place. So basically, I'm just going to wrap it around. What was that? Did you guys see what that was? Someone super chatted me. My husband is paying me money that I don't have. Let me see. Bail. Yeah. Yeah. You watching carefully? Okay. So I have my finger pressed on here because I just don't want to make it, I just don't want it to slip. The loop at the top is called a bail, yeah. But the loop though, I am trying to not loop it. I'm trying to just make an earring wire at the top. I want these to be cute little small earrings, which I am not a small earring wearer. Today I am wearing my earrings that I got from 𝐒𝐏𝐿. She's a sponsor. So she sent me some earrings, and so this is what she picked out for me. I love them, they're so cute. And they're fuchsia and pink to match my shirt, which is new merch. So I got new merch that I drew up and made it into a shirt. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll wear my new earrings, and it matches pretty well. But yeah, these are stones that I got from Michael's. So I bought these together and I bought these together. This one, do you notice something about this one? You see that green in the middle there? That is from using, even though they said it's tarnish free wire, you leave it in there for long enough, it starts to turn green in the middle. So I took this off of a ring because I was seeing the green in it and I was like really hating that. I still hate it, but you know, there's not much I can do about it. But yeah, this stone actually is pretty awesome looking. I don't know if you guys can see all throughout it. There's a bunch of webbing of like a light blue color that I just love this bead. But yeah, so this is what happens if you don't use, even though they told me it was tarnish free wire when I bought it, it's the only reason why I would buy that wire or even use it. So yeah, it turned green all in the inside. So I'm gonna act like it is green on purpose. And then I'm gonna wrap this one too. So I have a little loop that looks like this that I'm sitting my stone in. I'm stalling because this is not feeling very awesome. But let's do a couple. There's a cat. So now I have like two. Oops, I'm sorry. I have two here. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do some like waves. So I'm gonna keep going around it. Let's see. I have expectations and it may not be what it's going to turn out to be, but it's basically, I'm just trying to hold this in place. It's not easy. Okay, here we go. There we go. So let me go up. All right, I need you guys to cheer me on because I feel like I'm going to give up on this. I hope it will move it with the fizzy bubbles, but I kind of feel like, you know, it's all the way, it's in a hole of the bead, so I don't know whether it will go in there or if I need to push it in with a needle. Okay, so now let's try to get onto the side here. Ooh, this ain't working out very good. I wonder if I can start twisting now. I'm gonna start twisting it, tightening it. So what do you guys watch when you are creating things? Like what shows? Because I'm starting to get back to watching TV again, which is like very odd for me. So I am looking for some new shows. So I'm basically just wrapping this around. This is it so far. I'm like, I'm really this close to giving up on this because it's just slipping all over the place. Okay, here we go. We're starting to lock it in there. I'm trying to get all around each side, and my hands are sweating. It's not a good thing. Okay, so I am gonna end it here, right here, and I'm ending the wire by wrapping it all the way around. So I'm gonna leave myself a little bit left over. So this is the first end, and then this is the last end, and I have it wrapped around the beginning. So before I start working on my earring wire, I'm gonna start twisting these. I think to me this is the hardest part because, okay, well, I think this is the hardest part because it starts to tighten, but then it kind of starts to loosen in different areas. So I'm gonna start bending. I really need to start listening to music. Get back to my music too. Ooh, that's looking nice so far. Get the light to shine on it. There we go. Sometimes I watch YouTube videos also, and when I do that, I find so many really cool ideas. I've been watching a lot of things on tufting, which is, you know, making rugs and stuff, and I'm like amazed at all the things that are out there, what to use, what not to use, and how to do it, and how to clean your gun. And I mean, it sounds like it's dangerous, it's a tufting gun, but you know, you gotta, ooh, look at that. I bent this wire like way too much, but it's okay. I'll go to the back and I'm gonna bend it back here. It looks a mess right now. Okay, and then the bead came out, so I'm not gonna do that. There we go. So the key is to lock the bead in. All right, so far, but when I started moving this around, it started moving the bead. There we go. There we go. So I have this mess of a mess of a wire. So I'm gonna start moving these wires around. I like to watch a lot of shows. I mean, really, I'm listening to the shows. I'm not really watching them. So, yeah. Let's move these around, tighten them. Okay. Yeah, it's all right. This right here is all right. It's okay. Well, at least it's cupped the bead in and it's holding it in. Then you tighten this, and then I'm going to tighten it from the top because that's also going to tighten it even more. cinch it even more in place. There we go. Tell you what, these lives are no joke. Because if you don't get it right, nothing ain't looking right. But it's all live and ain't nothing you can do about it. Okay. So far, I'm just twisting it just to make it tight. Just making sure I don't pop any of these wires. All right, there we go. So there we go. And then to make my earring wire, I'm just gonna make it with my hand. Yeah, these are kind of like the same idea. They're beads, but they're like, they have holes in them, but the holes are so weird. Like this one had to have a hole in it because it was strung on this thing. I don't even know where the hole is. I'm blind as a bat, but I know for sure it was strung on. Unless I broke it off or something. Yeah, this doesn't. There's the hole. That is so weird. Look at this one. Uh-oh, my camera is freezing.